YouTube, what is going on? We got past the prop back here. We are doing NBA a day early today. Obviously, the slates do not kick off till tomorrow, but we got a big one. I think it's like a 12-gamer tomorrow, so we're going to get our spots in here, get you guys back on pace. Obviously, you had a couple of days off. Still been grinding, obviously. I know you've been grinding the golf side over there. I've been more on the college basketball there as well, so it's been good. Stu, how you been, man?
I've been great. This is awesome. I know a lot of people on Twitter have gone into full meltdown degen mode. I got to bet shots on goal, hockey. I got to do all this crazy stuff. No, for me, it's been a good, relaxing week. I wish it would have started today. We'll say today is one extra day for me. The relaxation is over. I'm ready to go. But yeah, hit that Hideki Matsuyama in the Discord last week, that nice 70-1 winner. I've been complaining to you for a long time about not hitting golf winners. So it feels very good, especially on a guy like Decky, who I'm such a huge fan of, who's cashed for me in the past. That was fun. I already got some golf picks locked and loaded for the Mexico Open, baby. I'm back. It only takes one winner to get you fully locked and loaded. And besides that, like I told you off camera, I've been drafting some MLB best ball. I've been already drafting some NFL best ball. Yesterday, I started to work on an article for rookies that you guys should be drafting before we get to the draft or anything like that. So I'm excited to publish that a little bit later. So a lot of fun stuff going on. I enjoyed the break. That was a lot of rambling to say. I'm excited to be back and ready to go. We got an awesome slate. I know it's 1 o'clock. You know, the games start tomorrow. If you have questions, if you're not here with us live, always feel free to drop them in the comments. We're here 24/7 trying to get some winners. So, hey, a lot of talking. I'm ready to go.
Yes, sir. Should be a quicker show as we've been trying to do here on the NBA ones, just to get you guys in, grab some plays, and get you out of here. So, yeah, it's been a good little break. Obviously, not really a break for your boy here, just kind of still grinding videos every day and doing college basketball. Phenomenal slate tonight, by the way. Shout out to SEC for showing up on these Wednesday slates, just putting out some bangers today. So might have a long shot. We might have a little long shot for some college basketball, a little prop parlay possibly coming through. But all that to say, we are here for some NBA action. Stu, what are we looking at here? So we got a big slate. Like I said, I think we got 12 games on this slate. What is the game catching your eye here on this big one here?
Yeah, it's funny you asked that because, like, there are a lot of good games. And the one I'm going to pick is going to be for a kind of dumb reason. But, like, we always talk about the flat screen game, right? The game that's going to be on the big TV for me, at least to start, is going to be Pistons-Pacers. Because I don't know if you were following the All-Star game. You had the Ivy, Mathurin. You had the trash talk. He missed the free throw. These guys are now immediately facing off. I know a lot of people are going to be betting both of those guys' props. I'll probably have some Ivy sprinkles in there as well. So for me, you know, I like a little bit of rivalry. I like a little bit of beef. I hope these guys go at it. We need more of that in the NBA, right? We need more people trash talking each other and stuff like that. So that'll at least have, you know, the first half of that game will be on the big screen. Then, you know, we'll probably go to some actually better action, maybe some Celtics Bulls, something like that.
Yeah, that's an interesting game to pick. I don't know if that would be my first pick there. I'm going to definitely go with Luka at home against the Suns. I am hoping Luka puts up 75, 20, and 20 on these dudes because I remember I tweeted about it right after Luka had like the 70-point game after Booker had the 60. And I'm like, even on the day Booker goes there, Luka's still winning, man. Still winning. Because the Suns lost the game when he dropped 60 and Luka won. I had all these Devin Booker fans like freaking out on me. I'm like, in what world is Devin Booker in the same stratosphere as Luka Doncic? They're not even close, dude. Luka's on another planet, man, with the stat numbers this boy's putting up there. I get it. You could say Kyrie, whatever, he's there still. But, I mean, come on, man. It's not even – I don't even think it's remotely close on who's more important to that team, man. I would definitely say Kevin Durant's better than him. So I got a lot of flack for that tweet. So I'm just really hoping that this is like a 50-20-20. If he doesn't want to go for 20 and 20 in peripherals, let's just go 75, 15, 10. Something like that. Just something to just put this to rest because Luka, my God, is just going to nuke these dudes. And I'm ready for it. And I want some beef there going too. I got Luka in a lot of those best balls I told you. 3 of my 5 ones that I went into second half best ball, I got the second pick. Everybody grabbing Jokic right away. I'm like, I'm more than happy more than happy to take Luka at the 2, and I have him in 3 of my 5 weeks, so I'm excited for that.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a fun one. These two teams, like you mentioned, don't like each other. Booker, obviously Luka, have the playoff rivalry, the blowout, all that stuff. So I'm excited to watch that one. I don't know, for the thing about it is like that one for betting is tougher for me. When both of those two teams are healthy, woo, it is really hard to pick a guy. I mean, like you said, Booker or KD may be better than Booker, but on any given night, who's scoring 30 points? It could be any of those three guys. And same with now Kyrie and Luka. Luka's a little bit more dependable. Obviously, he's got Gafford. The lob threat there is now as well. So that'll be interesting to follow. I definitely might have to get a couple bucks down on my guy Gafford in that one.
Yeah, I would check if I think Lively is back, though. So that might send his ass to the bench.
Yeah.
He's probably only playing like 16, 18 minutes a game now. So
I'm curious how low those lines are, though. Gafford has always been a per minute guy. You're completely right, but him and Lively are going to split center minutes 48, right? Probably in half, I'd bet, depending on foul trouble. So for me, I think Gafford could get himself 20 a night. And I mean, at 20 a night, I'm curious what those points are. But I get your point. That's a very
I don't even think he'll get that, though, because they're going to run PJ at the 5 sometimes, too.
Maybe
they don't offer his lines. They're not even giving out Gafford lines because I don't think they want to see what he's going to play. I think he plays like 12 minutes, bro. He's probably playing 12 minutes.
You don't trade a first round pick to play a guy 12 minutes. Look at Lively's game logs before there was any backup center. He could barely make it 25 minutes a game. Remember, just 5 fouls a minute.
He was hurt, bro. He literally was hurt. He was playing like that, man.
You're talking about a small gap of time in the season. Look at his year long.
He was still playing 35-plus minutes in some of those games where they had no backups.
In there.
Dude, honestly,
and Grant Williams was the backup center. Grant Williams, he's 6'7". Maxi Kleber was injured the first half. They had nothing. So you don't trade a first rounder for nothing, is what I'm saying. I think at 20 minutes a game, I think Gafford can get a double-double. And I bet they'll give you like 600 if he's, only playing 20 minutes a game. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. Picks nowadays don't really mean that much. These guys throw around first round picks like nothing. They're like candy, man. So I don't you need depth, obviously, but I think that's why they got PJ as well, because they need that guy to spread the court, man. Luka's trying to score in the paint, man. He's obviously the top, him and SGA, top 2 guys in drives per game. So kind of you're going to have to run the full pick and roll for it to work with Gafford, because obviously you want Luka in the paint scoring on those guys. But yeah, we got 3 total plays for you guys in this slate. I guess we can get right into it. We got 15 of you guys in here live in the first couple minutes. If you could hit that like button, we'd appreciate it. And we will get it going here. I'll kick it over to you, Stu, to start us off here.
Sounds good. We're going to that game I mentioned earlier, East Coast Showdown. 2 teams, don't like each other. Got some historical beef here, but obviously the Bulls haven't been quite as relevant recently, so it doesn't quite as matter. Not really rivalry vibes or anything, but we get to go to Kristaps Porzingis, a guy that I've had a lot of success betting on this year from the 3-point line. He's a little bit different than my normal strategy. If you watch the show a lot, it's a lot of volume over efficiency. I want a guy that's going to take 7-8 shots a game. He may only nail 1 or 2 of them, but that's not going to stop him from keep on going. Porzingis isn't the highest volume guy in the world, right? But he obviously benefits from some extremely great looks playing alongside the likes of Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Drew Holiday, all these different guys. The spread offense that they have is going to be very good for Porzingis getting nice looks on the outside. And when you look at it, man, over these last 2 months, he's shooting 42% from 3 in the month of February. You look back at January, just the same, 42% once again. 2 straight months of averaging over 2 threes made per game. He hit this in every game this month, including the game where he only played 16 minutes before the break, right? He went 3 for 4 in that one. We're just seeing extreme consistency for Porzingis. And the reason I like this matchup so much is because the Bulls are extremely good at limiting points in the paint. They're one of the best points in the paint teams in the league, right? So a guy like Porzingis, he doesn't want to fight you anyway. He's not going down there to post up anyway. That's never once been his game. Now we're getting a team that's actually extremely good at limiting paint points. They're extremely good at the pick and roll. They have some spectacular guard defenders out there. And then they're terrible against catch and shoot threes. And Porzingis, that's his bread and butter, right? This is the team allowing the most threes in the NBA, right? And they're particularly vulnerable in those catch and shoot looks. And that's what Porzingis loves to do. He would much rather take those outside threes than, 4 dribbles and go battle in the paint. And I think this is a great chance to do it. I already mentioned it. I love Alex Caruso. I bet on Alex Caruso a lot. He had a 3-steal game against Boston earlier, despite only playing 19 minutes in that one. He's ramped up to a full workload now. 2+ steals in the last 6 games going into the All-Star break in every single one of them. This is a prop that I don't even think should really be available in the same game parlay. A lot of guys like SGA, for example, start at 2 steals. They don't even give you the one option anymore. If you watched the show last year, we played the one option a lot. Almost every time we needed a parlay leg. They weren't going to let us do that again this year, so we got to get a little creative. Caruso has been that guy for me this year. Extremely dependable on the stocks. He's going to get you that 30 minutes a game. The Boston obviously isn't the best matchup in the world, but they do have a lot of short guards. He's going to be very active on those guys. He matches up against Drew and White very, very well, as shown in the 3 steals in only 19 minutes earlier in the year. So love both of these guys. I'm surprised we're only getting this at -105. I have this around -140, -150 right here. I think the Porzingis threes alone is good value, and I think Caruso steals shouldn't even really be an option. So definitely love playing this at -105 tonight.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, I remember we just throw that steal in there, get that juice reducer in there, and get some extra money.
Do you remember how much we did that with SGA last year, though? I mean, for my plays, it literally any time I needed anything first quarter, anything Thunder, it was just SGA steal, and he got it for us. And obviously, the sports books will take that for a season. They're going to look at their numbers. They're going to go, we won 0 money on this prop all year. Let's not let that happen again. But before it was SGA, it was Fred VanVleet, right? And now it's Alex Caruso. We're going to keep on finding new guys. That's what we do here.
Beautiful. And I'm going to be going to another big down there, but I'm going to be a little bit, I don't want to say tougher, but a little guy living in the paint a little more often. I'm going to go to Anthony Davis, and I'm going to be heading over to his points plus rebounds prop on DraftKings here at 38.5. Obviously, you can look at the first game. They played into a double overtime game on the 27th. He 29, 13, and 3, 4 blocks. Dude just went absolutely berserk. I don't look a ton into that one, especially with the double overtimes. But what I do like is you got 9 free throw attempts up in that game. This dude is going to get hacked galore down low against these guys. There is no one here. I mean, you can say Looney, whatever you want to do, say that. But I'm not worried about that at all. AD is an absolute mammoth down there, dude. I freaking love back in AD, especially with his rebound upside. Last 2 games before the break, he went 14 and 15 rebounds respectively. You want to go to the month of February alone, he's averaging 13 boards, 12.8 boards per game. Last 5 games, sitting at almost 20 rebounding chances. This dude should have no issue with this Warriors front line. Obviously, I love looking at fantasy points per game. That kind of to the position. That's kind of what I look at when I do a lot of these DFS numbers. And Warriors are allowing 24 points and 14 boards to center so far this year. And guess what? AD is going to be out there for a lot of those center minutes right there, right? We're going to probably see about 37 to 38 in a competitive matchup. I think this also is kind of nice because AD had 2 of his last 3 games before the All-Star break in absolute blowouts, right? He only played 29 minutes against the Pelicans. Had a little foul trouble, and then they also won by 17. Then he played the Pistons, smoked them, went for 20 and 14 in 28 minutes, right? So I think those also bring those numbers down a little bit. He still put up pretty nice numbers, but 4.5 point spread, got the time off, a guy who's got a little bit of that injury history, and we get a little bit extra break. Obviously playing the All-Star game, not a ton of minutes there, but I think he absolutely works this front line. I have no issues. I think he's going to dominate on the glass. I think he's going to have 3-4 blocks if you want to look at that for some upside as well. This is going to be a big game for AD coming off of this. I think he's going to show out, and we're going to see a pretty good Lakers team here in the second half.
Yeah, I love AD. There's 2 guys in the NBA that are elite producers, and I can still depend on them. I guess 3. SGA would be the third one. It's AD and Trae Young have been the 2 for me this year that even no matter how high they set the number, no matter how scared you are, a guy like me that loves the role players and hates going this high. Like the consistency at these numbers has been insane. It's one of those things where you're almost fighting against a blowout, right? And this is a competitive game. We've seen non-centers absolutely destroy on the boards, right? Like Lauri Markkanen 14, Collins 11 before the break, right? We've seen the small ball teams crush them on the boards. You don't get to force the Lakers to play small ball. That's not how it works. The Warriors can force almost any other team to, but the Lakers aren't going to do that. So for me, like you can talk about like a rebound ladder to like 18 to like 20, something like that. If we're getting full, close, competitive minutes in this one, I think the sky's the limit. I love AD in this matchup.
Yeah, and obviously you're going to talk about probably their top defender in Kuminga. I would assume probably guarding LeBron and not trying to mess around down there with AD. Obviously, that's another thing to add on top of it. But also just looking at numbers that we've kind of talked about here when we talk about, Trae Young. You said first quarter assists at 2.5. They won't go higher. They'll just juice it, right? When you look at some of these rebound props, man, you don't see guys go higher than 13.5, right? Really don't. AD's sitting at 13.5 with juice to the over here. And honestly, you don't see, like, when Sabonis was going on that run of just grabbing like 18 boards a game, they would not put it over 13.5, right? You're not going to expect 15 rebounds, right? Same thing with Gobert when he was cooking over there with the Jazz. There was games he was just grabbing 18, and they still won't go over 13.5. For you to have to grab 15 boards, you're just going to think people are going to hammer the under. But I think AD is just going to grab 15 here. And if I only need 24 points on that side, man, we're going to be feeling good about it.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's what we always talk about. If you're going to play a points and a rebounds, like you want to have upside in one category. You want to have the benefit of a guy failing in one and being able to pick you up in the other. That's why you play the combination, right? And it's obviously a little harder when you get to numbers this high, but I think for the reasons we've talked about, I think AD actually is a really good candidate for that. So I'm fired up to play him. It's a little harder to get the ladders on guys like this. You got to throw them in like parlays and stuff a little bit more, but definitely that like 16, 17, 18 rebounds for me is going to be worth a sprinkle.
Yes, sir. And I'm looking at my exposure here in some best ball. I think I got AD, and I think two of my 5 lineups that I got there. So I'm happy for that. I'm always happy to grab them. They're obviously very high upside player and should absolutely nuke these dudes down low. Let's take a look at the chat here before we get to Stu's second play here. We got Jose in here saying you can get plus 106 on ESPN. I know a lot of people still aren't all the way over there yet, so at least we have you got the difference on there, so at least we get to see that. We got Cashville in here. Hit the like button. Appreciate it, my man. And we appreciate all the positive comments you got in there as well. Cashville bringing up Jaden Ivey first quarter points over 3.5. Is that a thought maybe for you? 16.5 to 25. So is there any thoughts there on that?
Yeah, he brought this one up in the Discord. I liked it a lot on First Sound. I had Ivy like a week ago. My biggest problem is when I looked at the minutes and I looked at the first quarter rotations, he only played 5 and 7 minutes in the last 2 with Cade Cunningham. If you take out all the games without Cade, it suddenly looks a little bit less impressive in the first quarter. My biggest thing, if you watch, it's minutes. I need you to get 8 at least. 9, 10, 11 is preferable, right? That's where I want to be. If he's going to play 5 minutes, I don't want to bet on you. If you're going to play 7 minutes, 6 minutes, I don't really want to bet on you as much. So for me, until Ivy can prove that he's got those first quarter minutes unlocked, then I don't have any interest in betting him. The full game, though, with the narrative and everything, I'm with you right there. I do like Ivy to score. There's going to be, even take out the narrative, they don't have anyone to score on that team. So obviously the opportunity is going to be there. They did have like 4 white guys. I don't know if that's going to help. The jury's still out. Muscala, Gallinari, all these guys, who knows what's going to happen. But for me, I do like the full game. First quarter is just a little scary.
Yeah, you got to have those minutes, man. That's why you always talk about Luka and all these dudes are just monsters in the first because you know they're going to play. You know they're going to get the minutes, and you get a full round of action to get all that stuff in, especially if you start kind of slow. Cashville, appreciate it, man. Yeah, you said 1,100 for bathrooms for 25. Not a bad look. It's tough now with Tyrese being fully healthy now and getting the full allotment of minutes. But obviously that might help here. My only issue is, man, that spread is getting bigger and bigger every single minute. I swear it started at like 10. Now it's up to 11.5. And Gordon Hayward's going to play a game. Jesus Christ. When's the last time that happened? That was a while, man.
Like, man, the Thunder, the problem is, like, you guys got so many young guys. Like, I'd rather, like, for the playoffs, sure, yeah. But for the young, like, I want to see more Cason Wallace. You know, I want to see some of these guys that have been really good in their limited minutes. Isaiah Joe, some of these guys coming out of nowhere. So that would be my Aaron Wiggins, another one. But, you know, that's my personal preference. I'm not betting on Gordon Hayward. That's the one thing I can tell you for sure.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would kind of on the other side of that trade. I kind of wish they start Trey Mann and LaMelo, bro, because Trey Mann's been an absolute fucking beast, dude. He's been so good. Do expect LaMelo back. I see that there as well. Cashville bringing up, I think he's supposed to be back. I think that's what they mentioned was after All-Star break. But, dude, Trey Mann's been nice, man. Maybe, I don't know, especially with no Rozier there. They're going to run both those guys in the starting lineup. Why wouldn't you run the two-guard starting lineup like that? Because if you're willing to do it with Terry, why wouldn't you do it with the guy who actually puts up peripheral stats?
Yep. Yeah, I agree. For me, like, I don't want to be like a hot take guy, but like, are they? I don't want to say they're better without LaMelo, but like, I like the Hornets team, what they were doing. Like, everyone's betting the Hornets now, thinking like, look what they just had with those guys. Plus, they're getting LaMelo back. You got to realize, like, it just doesn't work like that. If there's some kind of chemistry that was going on, not to say that his presence, he could elevate everybody. I just don't think that's the most likely outcome. I've really, never seen LaMelo elevate everybody around him. And these guys were doing good without him there. I want to see him keep playing. The man's the world, So we'll see what happens. Maybe that's crazy. Maybe I'm wrong. But I see a lot of people on the Hornets thinking like, oh, all that chemistry they had, they're just going to add LaMelo to that and be even better. Like, I don't really know about that necessarily.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I think that they'll be a little better with it. Obviously, defensively, they're already garbage, so it doesn't really matter. So we're not worried about that. They're going to give up. Miles Bridges ain't out there to play defense, right? Nick Richards ain't out there to play fucking defense. They're like, if you're going to sacrifice, you might as well put the best offensive players you got out there and just hope you can outscore them. We are looking. Joseph talking about Detroit plus 12 away double-digit spreads. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Interesting. I still don't know if I want to put money on them. I would rather just take like Jalen Duren stuff or Cade stuff. That's why we do not bet spreads on the show. We stay far, far away because those markets are sharp. They're sharp.
And we make exceptions, but we're making an exception for the Pistons. Like, come on. I see the logic. Don't get me wrong. You can make that argument anytime there's a heavy dog. Just for me, like in particular, I want to be clear. This Pistons team is like bad, and they're like they don't have chemistry, right? They're mixing up the roster. They're trying different rotations. No one's playing particularly amazing. Like for me, the Pistons are just like a stay away team. I don't want to hate on the bet too much. I realize a lot of people are like, oh, these bad teams are bad. Sure. But I'm saying like the Pistons, I think might be like really, really bad.
Yeah. I'm kind of happy. Isaiah Stewart got his punch in and we got to see Stuart Thompson get a little bit extra minutes. Right. So I like Stuart Thompson for DFS purposes because they're like mid 4Ks, going to be a good point per minute guy. And those are the types of guys you want in there. Just guys that are all over the court, and same thing with his brother doing some big stuff over there in Houston as well. All right, Stu, let's get to your second play and get to our long shots here.
Sounds good. We're going Denny Advia over 1.5 first quarter rebounds, minus 140 over on ESPN bet. We got a little bit of juice here, so I'm playing it to risk 1 unit rather than to win 1 unit, right? Normally it would be if, let's say, your unit's $100, bet 140 to win 100. Here we're just betting 100 flat. That is some people's regular strategy. It's personal preference at the end of the day. But for me, with a heavy juice prop like this, you want to reduce the risk a little bit. But I do love it. I like it a lot. And I really think that Denny has a very nice game in this one. For me, the biggest worry is always like blowout. It's 15-point spread. It's the freaking Denver Nuggets. Sure, Jokic doesn't necessarily try his hardest, right? I told you about the system of people betting unders against bad teams. Well, he had 42 against Washington last time they played. So maybe that system doesn't apply to every game, right? When you see Marvin Bagley in the paint, sometimes you just got to get to work, right? That's what you do. I mean, come on. It's Kuzma and Bagley down there, right? So for me, when I look at this game, I want to reduce my risk to the full game, unless I'm playing young guys like a Bilal, a Kisper, even a Dendy who gets a little bit of blowout run. But what I really like about this is ever since we've mixed up the coaching staff, We're new, right? We got rid of Wes. We're finally a nice, happy team now that's moving towards the future. The rotations have been locked in. Denny's averaging 2 rebounds per game on the season, even with the shitty rotations, only 7 minutes per game, not even starting half of these games. But now that we're all locked in, we've seen 9 minutes, 11 minutes, 9 minutes, 8 minutes, 10. He's went over 2 rebounds in every one of those games. He's went over 3 rebounds in all but one of those games, all in the first quarter. So Denny was a little bit more of a slow starter earlier in the year. That was something I noticed. That was really a rotational thing. That's not like he's just bad in the first quarter. It's like he wasn't getting the opportunities. But we have a new coach. The lineups are very secure moving forward. There's no guesswork. He's going to get himself at least 9 minutes in the first quarter right here. And for me, especially with Washington's bad shooting and good offensive rebounding, like I think we have 3-4 potential in the first quarter here. This is one, once again, it was 2.5 last game. I expected it to be 2.5 again after the break. I think we're getting some value here still at this 1.5 number. So we're risking 1 unit over on ESPN. Denny Advia, 1.5 rebounds in the first quarter.
Awesome. Obviously, I do like Denny. I like betting on Denny. Unfortunately, I bet on Denny a lot and play him more than I should in DFS. And then the one day he dropped 75. I didn't play him. Hey, he was sub 1% owned too. Just an absolute slate breaker there. So unfortunate, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Not gonna get mad. I'm good. So. It'll be a good day for Denny Avdia. Hopefully he continues to show up.
Oh yeah. This is my guy. And this, like I said, I bet on the Wizards, not a lot in the first half of the season. And if you follow me, that might be weird. But I really locked in last year on the Wizards in the second half because, once again, you got nothing to play for. It's all about the young guys. The minutes are a lot more predictable for guys like me, who are the only people in the world who know the Wizards rotation. So for me, I'm excited about this one. This is more of a blowout. Like, this game is kind of ugly. I wish Denver was not the first game. I know a lot of people are going to be betting Denny points. When you think about what Denny does, he's a transition guy. He goes to the paint. He kind of bullies a little bit. That doesn't work against Aaron Gordon. This isn't a team that loves to play in transition. So I know a lot of people are going to be thinking, let's hammer Denny again. I would just say let's be a little bit cautious. I think Denver is arguably Denny's worst scoring matchup, maybe out of any team in the league. So for me, personally, the scoring was a stay away, but I think the rebounding is a phenomenal spot right here. And I'm excited to bet some, Wizards young guys and just all young guys, Trey Mann, all these, up-and-comers in the second half.
Sounds good. Definitely a look that we want to get to back in these guys that, get that extra run too in those first quarter spots. So let's get through a quick recap here, Stu. I will get to this question here. I did post a YouTube play of the day earlier this morning with two spots already. But I think my long shot's going to be in college basketball for tonight. So yes, Luke, I will have a college basketball long shot here coming shortly. But no plays on the show because obviously it's for tomorrow. But I do have 2 plays out already on the channel already, so you already got that.
Love it. I've been tailing those, man. College basketball has been, fun. I don't watch it, but the matchups are getting serious now. I've been paying attention. It's on the TV more, it's kind of getting, not March Madness yet, but the feels, right? All these ranked matchups now. It's more fun. Yeah,
I already took the Friday off. I had to get that in early. I got to close the schedule off on the 22nd. Now that I was so rattled, bro. March Madness is starting a little like that week later. Like it's because of like Easter and stuff is in March now. Mm-hmm. So I was so rattled because I'm like, oh, I always have to take off the second week in March. Then I look, I'm like, shit, I took off the wrong day and either open that day back up and say, hey, I'm opening this and switching. I'm like, oh shit. Just because they screwed me up a little bit there. They got in my head there. But it'll be good. Let's do a quick recap here, Stu, and we'll get to some long shots.
Sounds good. We got Kristaps Porzingis, 2 threes, Alex Caruso, 1 steal, -105 DraftKings, +106 over on ESPN Bet. Then we got Denny Advia over 1.5 rebounds, 1.5 first quarter rebounds. That is -140 ESPN, -150 at DraftKings.
Beautiful. And I'll be rolling with Anthony Davis over 38.5 points plus rebounds. That's at -125 on DraftKings right now. If you want a long shot, I would definitely be rolling more with the rebounds over the points. I just think there's really nothing stopping him from grabbing every rebound down there. I ain't worried about Rui getting in the paint. He dropped 30-something points, 1 rebound, 1 assist. Man,
dude, I saw someone bet.
Love to see you fighting down there.
Yeah, anytime I see someone bet his rebounds, I'm like, oh boy, you've never watched this guy play before. I mean, I like him. He's like the softest 6'9" in the world. I mean, like there's no rebound. Like there's never. I don't know if he's had a double-double before. Like he's a forward. You know what I mean? He played small ball center, and I don't know if he's ever had 10 rebounds in his life. So when I see people clicking on that 4.5 rebounds and over, I'm like, oh boy. You have no clue who you're watching right here. He wants to sit on that 3-point line. He wants to be a guard. He's not a guard, but
I fell for the trap with a double-double on their last game when he went out. But I grabbed it at like 35-1, dude. It was nuts. Like I'm like, I kind of have to, right? You're sitting AD out. Like I have to, right? Or I sit LeBron out. Like I gotta do it. It's just like first thing that pops in my head. I gotta take the guy filling him up, and then I'm like, fuck, why not just take the ladder on the points instead of the goddamn double-double?
I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, for me, it's just like, why would you bet $100 on 4.5 rebounds when you can bet $5 on double-double, right? If Denny has a spike, if Rui has a spike rebound in the game, it's a spike rebound in the game. So I we're in the same kind of logic there of like, go if it's an unknown, go for the long shot over the regular. But yeah. Oh, he's he doesn't have much rebounding spirit in him. That's not really his intention out there. Unlike my guy, Denny Advia, who we bet on today.
All right, Stu, let's go. Here's your long shot.
Sounds good. We're going to the 3-point market where we've had some success this year. Corey Kispert, Kristaps Porzingis, both of these guys to only knock down 3 threes. That is plus 890. I played each of them 4-3 separately to get a little bit of that ladder plus money action going. But I do like this over on FanDuel right now. It's in the 600s on most other sports books on DraftKings. And that's probably where I'd have it. For me, a guy like Corey Kispert, I think, is a little bit of a sleeper right now. He's a guy that consistently, like I said, this is a team that we traded Delon Wright. Landry Shamit's minutes are reducing. It's time to let the young guys play. And Kispert has seen a bump in minutes, and he wasn't even playing that well. He had one good game in there. I was watching him. He looked tired to me. He looked like a guy that I thought really needed the All-Star break. And still, even despite all that, before the All-Star break, he had one of his better games, had a nice 20-plus point performance in that one. For me, this is a guy that's going to shoot, going forward, 6 to 10 threes a game. I mean, the catch and shoot wide open threes as well. Denver isn't the best matchup in the world, but I want to take advantage of this newfound volume. Look, all you have to do is look at those last couple games before. The efficiency wasn't quite there yet. You were seeing some 2-for-7, stuff like that. But I think a guy like Corey Kispert, who's a great 3-point shooter, I think regression is coming in the second half of the season. One of my favorite facts I found, he's only shooting 29% on wide open threes this year, despite the fact that he's, shooting around 35%. So the regression is there. He's hitting the tougher looks. We just need him to start cashing in at a higher rate on the wide open threes, which for me, with a guy like Kispert, is something I have a lot of faith is going to happen. So for taking 6 to 7 a game, I really like the value of getting the 3 to 4, especially when Kispert's a guy that will play blowout run, right? He will get some of those opportunities. He's going to get himself, a 26-minute workload. And for me, 3 threes and that kind of workload is something I love. I talked about Porzingis earlier. I talked about the efficiency. He's always the tougher ladder guy. That's the problem. He's always cashing 2. I don't want to get too greedy with Porzingis, but I do think this is a good matchup. I think it's one of those kind of pop-off opportunities. And like I said, 3 for 4 right before the break in 16 minutes. One stat I did not get to mention earlier that I forgot that I should have. One of my favorite parts about Porzingis is off of 3 days rest, he's phenomenal. That really annoys some guys. If you look at the stats, some guys, stats go down in the gutter, especially from 3 when you're off multiple days rest. You just got to assume maybe some tired, fatigue, whatever. No, he's shooting his best on 3 days rest. In 8 games, he's over in 6 of 8 on 3 days rest so far, shooting 43% from 3. So he's got some stuff going. I like Porzingis. I like Kispert. I combine them together. You get plus 890.
All right. I'm going to do a little combo here. It's going to be a little different for me. Doing a points only on these because I usually like to grab a little bit of those points, rebounds, assists. All right. Shout out Great Ozabor. Obviously, I missed the bet here. I don't know if you watched the game last night. Phenomenal game, dude. Almost triple-double last night. with 18 points. So obviously picked the wrong game, and he did it against the best defense in their conference, but it is what it is. I'm going to go with a little long shot here. I'm going to be rolling with Donovan Dent and Antonio Reeves. I'm going to be rolling Donovan Dent, 18 points, Antonio Reeves, 25. Antonio Reeves is obviously Kentucky. Donovan Dent is for one of my favorite teams, and that's New Mexico. Love those guys. We love the Lobos over here. We'll start out with Dent. Dent is coming off of a mini injury. He got hurt at the end of the Nevada game, I believe it was. I think it was the Nevada game. It was like 2 games ago. Played last game. Did not look like himself. We got a little bit of a break, and now we get to head back home. This dude is an absolute stud. Yeah, it was the Nevada game where he only played 28 minutes, had that little injury, and you could tell he wasn't himself in the last game. He shot 3 for 10, didn't even attempt a 3, right? It just wasn't the way he usually plays. Now, you got a little bit of time off, right? Now you're getting to head in back home where this dude is an absolute beast. At home, he's averaging 17 points per game. This New Mexico team is so good at home. I want to roll with him here because I don't want to have to rely on the three-point ball. Colorado State's been a little bit better at guarding the three-point ball. Dent is trying to get downhill. It's going to be more like the Jalen House type of guy that you're going to want to go with for threes, who's another one of their guards, or Jamal Mashburn. All 3 of them phenomenal guards. They also have Top in there as well. Really good team, but have a high team total. We've got a pace here that I'm all over here. I like this pace. And if you want to look at the first matchup with these guys, right? Colorado State, he only shot 9 times, right? He went 4 for 9, scored 10 points. He had 9 assists. Right away when he found that everybody was making their shots, we were good, right? He found a way to be involved, almost double-doubling in this, and that's huge in college basketball, especially with assists. I think Dent's a little bit more aggressive here, going to be feeling a little bit better. And like I said, he's averaging 17 at home already, and now in a spot where their team total is in the mid-8s. I think we're going to get there. Reeves in a phenomenal spot here with a fast-paced LSU team. I love this dude. This dude is really, really good. He's averaging 19.5 points per game already this year. I know they're on the road. I don't really like backing them on the road as much, but it's kind of weird because Antonio Reeves is one of the few guys that is better on the road from this Kentucky team. 22.5 points per game on the road versus 18 at home. This dude's a stud. He's going to get his shots up, averaging 18 shot attempts on the road. That is huge because a lot of these guys at home, everybody's feeling good. You got Reed Shepherd out there. You got all of these guys, Trey Mitchell, shooting way better at home. Not a lot of them travel well, especially when you got all these freshmen, right? You get Reed Shepherd being a freshman. I don't even remember how to say the super tall 7-footer's name who's shooting threes. I don't even want to try to say his last name, but you got a senior here, right? That's weird to say on a Kentucky roster. Antonio Reeves is a senior, and he has traveled. He's a grizzled vet, as we call him in the college world. I think he's going to put up a huge number tonight. If you wanted to take him straight on the long shots, I don't mind his 30-plus tonight. That's at plus 425. I think Reeves has to have a huge game for them to win. Coming off of a big show out in their last game, they made it into a slugfest. LSU has been playing very, very well. So I think this game stays close, and Reeves is going to have to show out. So I'm in for Reeves. Sign me up. I don't mind his regular over at 21.5, but I like this long shot here with 2 guys that I do want to back.
Awesome. Yeah, I was just checking what the regular prop was. That's what I was going to ask you, but obviously you covered it there. 50 or 21 even on Prize Picks as well, so you get the hook there if you're like a DFS guy looking for that. And what about Dent's regular 14.5? Is that?
I don't mind it, but we've seen it where like he'll get hot, right? He'll get hot and keep shooting, right? So I just told you in their last game he had 9 shot attempts against UNLV this year. He's at 8.5 shot attempts, but in some of these games where he's hitting early, he's getting 15, right? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, if his shot's falling, I'd rather have the plus money long shot. I probably wouldn't bet his straight bet, but it's not a bad spot. I think he does well tonight, but I would rather have the plus money going up to that 20. Even 20 on DraftKings is a pretty nice price. So I think that's going to be where I want to go here. But if I had to pick any one of them, it'd be Reeves.
Sounds good.
Beautiful, beautiful. And like I said, guys, I already have 2 plays out. I haven't posted on Twitter yet. I don't know why I didn't post it on Twitter yet. Usually I post it right away, but it's a bounce back day today. I'm feeling pretty good on the spots that we have. Stu, do you have anything else for the people here?
I mean, I was looking at some long shots. There's not too many Anthony Davis rebound ladders and stuff like that available yet. You can only go to like 15, it looked like to me. So I'll have you guys updated in the comments. If anyone has any questions, we have a whole day shelf life. Normally the NBA, it's over in a second. So you got a whole day to ask any questions for tomorrow's slate if you want. Like I said in the beginning, we know it's 1:00. People got work. You can't all be here live. So drop them in the comments below. We'll get to them. I'm going to have some more long shots as well. Some Walker Kessler blocks, little spoiler alert for what's going on. So a lot of fun stuff, big slate, ready to keep making money. Hope you guys join us back on Wednesday.
Yep, we'll be back Friday, right? We got Friday. It's weird. Today's Wednesday.
Yeah.
We'll be back. You guys will have bets back-to-back days from us, which we usually don't have. So we'll have our Friday slate. Be ready for that on Friday. Normal time, obviously, should be all good. And we got hopefully a sweep coming your way, guys. So thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that like button if you could. Share the video. Retweet it when we post it. It means a lot. Helps us spread the word. Obviously, want to get you guys ready for baseball season as well. That's obviously right around the corner, and I'm excited for that. We're already betting some college baseball already, which is we like to see. So thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys on Friday for another round of Pass the Prop NBA.